You can catch it in the hushed murmurs, drifting through league corridors, the cryptic posts on social media, the anxious sideline glances, and the sudden tight-lipped press briefings. Something colossal is brewing in the NFL. And it's not your run-of-the-mill quarterback controversy. No, this one has Jerry Jones's fingerprints all over it, which means drama, power maneuvers, and absolutely zero restraint. Because if the rumors carry even a grain of truth, and with Jerry they almost always do, we may be standing on the edge of one of the most outrageous quarterback trades in modern memory. If you crave the real story, the messy twists that never make the highlight reels, hit subscribe. And if you want front row seats to the unfolding chaos in Cleveland's quarterback room, you need to be subscribed. That's right. The billionaire showman of Dallas is reportedly targeting none other than Shedeur Sanders. Yes, that Shedeur rookie phenomenon, face of a new generation, son of Deion, marketing dynamite, and oh yeah, currently on the roster of the Cleveland Browns. So what does it all mean? Let's break it down. This isn't just football, it's legacy, leverage, and brand warfare. Jerry Jones pulling strings like a Bond villain in a 10-gallon hat. Word on the street is that Jones has had his fill of Dak Prescott's almost era, the inconsistency, the postseason collapses, the endless chatter without the trophies to back it. Jerry craves fireworks. He wants a face of the franchise, a golden ticket, someone who can rack up wins and launch a marketing empire. Enter Shedeur. From the moment Sanders set foot on Cleveland's turf, it was obvious. He wasn't playing the same game. Precision, composure, media magnetism. He looked like a quarterback and a CEO stitched into the same uniform. And the surname Sanders, that isn't just narrative gold, it's currency. The kind Jerry Jones collects like a connoisseur. Insiders whisper that Jones has been running a covert, low-profile operation. No press releases, no official trade wires, just back channels, shadows, and whispers the way Jerry prefers it. And here's the detail rattling executives in their bespoke suits. The rumored trade package is massive. We're talking multiple first-round picks, household name veterans, maybe even a defensive cornerstone. Jones knows prying Shedeur out of Cleveland won't be cheap. But let's be real. This opportunity only exists because the Browns are a house divided. Coaching staff at war. Ownership restless. Stefanski reportedly unraveling behind closed doors. One faction insists on slow, careful development, textbook football pedagogy. Another faction, they see dollar signs. They want Shedeur as a brand ambassador now. The billboard quarterback, the walking commercial, the vibe-based franchise. Sound familiar? That's exactly the type of dysfunction Jerry Jones feeds on. He spots the fractures, senses the unrest, and swoops in like a hawk with $1 billion checkbook. And here's the kicker. Shedeur isn't resisting. Publicly, he's quiet, polished, professional. Privately, sources claim he's intrigued, which, in football language, means he's already picturing himself in Dallas penthouses. And hovering just off stage, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, outwardly silent, but come on, you know he's strategizing. He's been preparing for this moment since Shedeur's very first touchdown. If Jerry calls, you'd better believe Deion answers, with Dallas area codes on speed dial. This is bigger than a quarterback shuffle. This is a generational gambit. A maneuver bold enough, brazen enough, that only Jerry Jones has the ego and resources to even attempt it. Because this isn't merely about X's and O's. It's about market reach. Shedeur Sanders is already a 9-figure marketing machine in Cleveland. Put him in Dallas under the star, the numbers go stratospheric. Jerry is 80-something years old. He's not waiting for maybe. He's chasing legacy. A quarterback who can electrify AT&T Stadium, dominate TikTok, and plaster billboards in Times Square. Shedeur is young, magnetic, and already global. In today's NFL, it's not just about rings, it's about reach. And Shedeur is reach incarnate. Of course, the league office isn't thrilled. Tampering, almost certainly. But Jerry has been outmaneuvering rules for decades. He knows how to keep his fingerprints hidden until the deal is irreversible. And even if the NFL wants to step in, what can they really do? Penalize the Cowboys for being too ambitious? Please, this is pro football. Money talks and Jerry speaks fluent billion-dollar. And now, the fallout.
If this deal materializes, it won't just be Cleveland that collapses. It'll detonate the entire quarterback marketplace. Overnight, rookie contracts stop being about raw potential and become about packaging, media magnetism, and merchandising. Muscle. Teams won't merely draft for QBR anymore. They'll draft for curation, for spectacle, for how well a jersey sells on Fifth Avenue or in Shibuya. And if Jerry lands Shedeur, expect nothing short of a Cowboys brand revolution. Limited edition. Collabs, primetime sideline cameos, Shedeur-branded Nike drops, stocked in every NFL store from Dallas to Dubai. Dak, sorry brother, you're the sacrificial lamb, ushered out in a quiet off-season press release. Maybe a thanks for everything graphic slapped on social media. Because make no mistake, the second Shedeur walks into that building, he is the story. Day one, minute one. Legacy inked. That's what terrifies the rest of the league. If Jerry pulls this heist off, it sets a sinister precedent that a perfectly timed marketing blitz fused with organizational chaos can pry loose even the most untouchable rookie. No one is safe. Not anymore. The whispers are already turning to roars. And somewhere in a glass suite high above AT&T Stadium, Jerry Jones is probably swirling something top shelf, grinning like a man who knows exactly how this ends. Shedeur in silver and blue. Sounds insane? So did every other Jerry Jones. Gambit until it happened. So comment below, is Jerry a visionary or a madman? Would you mortgage the farm for Shedeur? Or is this just another overcooked Jerry fever dream? Either way, hit subscribe, because this isn't just speculation anymore. The wheels are turning, the tension is real, and the fallout could rattle the league to its core. Let's be blunt, this is Jerry Jones's final act. The man has bled Dallas Cowboys blue for decades, but now he's staring down the last chapters of his NFL saga. He doesn't just crave another playoff berth, he craves a legacy move, a billion-dollar blaze of glory. And what better finale than stealing the most electrifying rookie in football straight from under a floundering, fractured franchise? Because Shedeur isn't just another prospect, he's a phenomenon, a perfect storm of pedigree, poise, and presence. Deion's aura runs through him, but instead of blinding flash, it's laser-focused precision. Every interview, every throw, every icy camera stare. He knows the audience is watching, and he plays it masterfully. That's why Jerry doesn't just see a quarterback. He sees a global star, the next face of America's team, not just on the field, but on commercials, TikTok, billboards, and whatever metaverse Nike launches next. Let's be real, Dak Prescott never truly embodied that. Talented? Absolutely. Pro Bowl caliber? At times. But the it factor, the generational magnetism, was never fully there. Jerry knows it, and with Dak's contract reaching a breaking point and playoff runs stalling, the timing is surgical. Meanwhile, Shedeur sits in Cleveland, drowning in dysfunction, gleaming like a diamond on a desk full of paper clips. And Jerry, he doesn't knock politely when opportunity cracks open. He kicks the damn door off the hinges and struts in with a suitcase of cash and a grin that screams, "Try and stop me." Cleveland, though, they can't afford to cave. If they let Shedeur walk now, it's not just a loss. It's an implosion, a cultural unmasking. Proof that fractured coaching, schizophrenic ownership, and PR tug-of-war still rule the Browns. If Jerry can snatch their crown jewel in year one, the message is clear. Culture still devours talent before breakfast, and let's not excuse the Browns. They knew what Shedeur represented on draft day. He wasn't some under-the-radar flyer. He was the most media-ready athlete in the class, a pre-packaged brand. If they weren't prepared to build an empire around him, then why draft him at all? Now they're scrambling, coaches preaching patience, while ownership holds Zoom calls. With luxury brands and crypto sponsors, front office executives are spiraling over leaks. Reports say Stefanski is seething, furious that football itself is being overshadowed by photo ops. And in the middle of all this, Shedeur, the calmest man in the building, unshaken. Not a single misstep. No outbursts, no cryptic tweets, no tabloid headlines. Just laser focus, letting his game, his value, and his leverage do all the talking. And that's what's terrifying. Shedeur holds the cards. If he even entertains this move, he's not just a player on the trade block. He's a chess piece in the most high-profile front office battle of the year. And don't think for a second Deion isn't watching with those razor-sharp eyes. Prime doesn't just have an opinion. He is the opinion. He embodies branding, leadership, and mission all rolled into one. Always 2 steps ahead. If he sees Dallas as the superior platform for Shedeur, on the field and beyond it, then believe me, he's dialing Jerry Jones. And Jerry? He's picking up before the first ring finishes. But here's where it gets even messier. If this deal actually detonates, it rips open Pandora's box for every franchise. Rookie contracts won't mean security anymore. A young star with massive cultural weight becomes an open target. Teams will stockpile draft picks and assets just to pry them loose. Your first-round quarterback? He might be halfway out the door the moment he signs if your organization can't hold it together. And the league office? Oh, they hate this. They love player empowerment when it moves jerseys. But when it rattles their system, that's when they panic. Jerry isn't just bending rules. He's redrawing them, operating in the shadows, dancing in gray legal zones. Secret calls. Agents not officially tied to teams. Third-party marketing firms whispering in boardrooms. This isn't tampering. It's a Picasso of manipulation. And Goodell's office is sweating bullets, scrambling to stop it without fueling a bigger circus. Too late. The circus is already live. Media, fans, brands, the world. Every eye is locked on Jerry, Shedeur, the Cowboys, and the Browns, and hanging in the air, spiraling like a Hail Mary. One question: will Jerry actually blow the league wide open with the boldest quarterback coup in modern history? Or will this fade as another tantalizing saga in a league addicted to drama, branding, and billion-dollar chess moves. Because let's be clear, Shedeur Sanders is not merely a quarterback. He's a symbol of where this league is going. And Jerry Jones? He's not watching the future from the sidelines. He's buying it outright. If that star logo hits Shedeur's chest, you're not witnessing a trade. You're witnessing a cultural reset in the NFL. And here's why the league is sweating through their tailored suits. If Jerry pulls this off, it's not just an off-season bombshell. It's the end of how the NFL has operated for decades. Shedeur isn't a prospect waiting to be marketed. He is the marketing. He doesn't need a campaign. He is the campaign. He flipped the script long ago. NIL money flowing before his rookie jersey even hit shelves. Name recognition greater than half the league's veterans. He's disruptive by default. Jerry knows it. That's why insiders whisper he's pitching this as Star System 2.0. A cowboy cinematic universe. Not just players, but global icons. Every presser, every sideline fit, every mic drop moment turned into content, into spectacle, into profit. And who better to launch it than Shedeur? He's got it all. The look, the lineage, the timing, the swagger, the discipline, and most of all, the power. The second he walks into that locker room, he doesn't just inherit the huddle. He inherits the spotlight, the pressure cooker, the 24/7 Dallas microscope. And he's built for it, raised in the glare, trained by a Hall of Famer since birth. This isn't some wide-eyed rookie. This is a young man who's been media-ready since high school highlights went viral. And you know who feels that heat already? Dak Prescott. Whether Jerry pulls the trigger or not, the rumors alone shift the atmosphere. Every presser, every interception, every misfire, the whispers echo. Shedeur would have made that throw. Brutal? Yes. Unfair? Maybe. But it's the modern NFL. Branding and performance are no longer two columns. They're one equation. And if your marketing wattage doesn't match your stat line, you're on borrowed time. Shedeur's stats? Quiet on paper. 4 for 7. No touchdowns, no picks. But to the trained eye, it was masterful. While media figures tallied flashy touchdown totals, Shedeur was doing what true quarterbacks do. Commanding the huddle, navigating pressure, making the right reads. No frills, no flair, just precision and poise. And when you're QB4, every single rep is gold. Now contrast that with Cleveland's QB carousel. Joe Flacco, 8 for 13. Veteran steadiness, but nothing dynamic. Kenny Pickett, back from injury. 2 touchdowns? Yes. But 2 weeks off matters. Dylan Gabriel, drafted ahead of Shedeur, but still doesn't have full command of the offense. Tyler Huntley, just arrived, barely acclimated. And yet, Shedeur Sanders, the most efficient quarterback in the room, remains buried. Why? He's demonstrated the sharpest decision-making, the cleanest camp performance, the only Browns QB without a turnover. This isn't favoritism. It's straight-up production. Shedeur isn't playing like a developmental prospect. He's performing like a starter, and he's not the only rookie making waves. On the opposing sideline, Jimmy Horn Jr. was silently erupting. No media circus, no national spotlight, just what he's always done. Burn defenders, find space, and play with a chip the size of 207 draft picks. The Panthers nabbed him in the 6th round, a footnote to most analysts. But those who witnessed his speed and synergy with Shedeur at Jackson State and Colorado knew the truth. This wasn't a late-round flyer. It was grand larceny. Now Panthers head coach Dave Canales can't stop raving about Horn's effort, explosiveness, and relentless motor. In a recent scrimmage, Horn took a motion route from Andy Dalton and walked it into the end zone, a carbon copy of a Colorado play call. Same timing, same explosiveness, same unspoken trust. But here's the part the media isn't telling you: the emotional undercurrent. Watching Shedeur and Jimmy share the field again wasn't just a reunion. It was a declaration of vengeance. They weren't just teammates. They were brothers in battle. Both doubted, both discarded, and now both making NFL front offices regret every moment they were overlooked. But for Shedeur, the road ahead still feels uphill, not because of defenders, but because of the system. Even in Deion Sanders' absence, his shadow looms heavy. That's the tightrope Shedeur walks every day. He can go perfect in joint practice. He can lead scoring drives. He can outplay the depth chart. And yet, there's a strange resistance, a quiet organizational hesitation. Not from his teammates, not from the fans, but from the league itself, still unsure how to handle prime time's air. When head coach Kevin Stefanski told reporters this week that Shedeur's arm soreness was behind him, we're past that. The translation was clear. Shedeur is healthy, ready, cleared for action. So why does it still feel like he's being restrained? He's received the fewest reps of any quarterback on the roster. He hasn't thrown a single pick. He's demonstrated calmness, composure, and elite field IQ. And yet, he waits. And let's be real. We all know what would happen if Deion walked into camp tomorrow. Cameras, chaos, clickbait, excuses. That's why Shedeur told his own father to stay away. Not out of disrespect, but out of necessity. Because he knows the second Prime shows up, the circus begins. And the excuses follow. The Browns would have yet another excuse to frame Shedeur Sanders as a distraction. Another justification to confine him to backup duties. Another subtle way to claim he's not ready, without ever saying the quiet part out loud. Because the Deion effect is real, and it runs deeper than celebrity. It cuts into legacy, race, and the NFL's ingrained power structures. Structures that grow uncomfortable when the spotlight shifts to someone they didn't handpick to be a star. And once Deion's name fades from the headlines, the real battle begins. For Shedeur, he's surrounded by a carousel of quarterbacks on Cleveland's roster, most of them inconsistent, some injured, a few unproven. And yet, it's Shedeur who continues to be buried on the depth chart. Even after out-decisioning Dylan Gabriel, even after displaying more poise and control than Kenny Pickett, even after delivering flawless, turnover-free reps every time he takes the field, he's still overlooked. This isn't about performance anymore. This is about narrative control. Shedeur Sanders was never supposed to be part of this room, and the system reminds him of that every single day. So we have to ask the hard question: is Cleveland sabotaging Shedeur Sanders? In the middle of all the noise, the media narratives, the rep manipulation, and the quarterback politics, came a moment on the practice field that cut through the chaos like lightning. Brotherhood. Shedeur Sanders and Jimmy Horn Jr. shared an sexuals. NFL field once again. Two young men once dismissed, doubted, and discarded, now standing on opposite sidelines with the same fire in their chests. And Jimmy? He didn't just play well, he electrified practice. He torched the Browns' second-team defense with the same breakneck speed and fearless energy that made him Shedeur's favorite target at Colorado. Shedeur waiting in the shadows, ready to outshine you before halftime. That's not just pressure, that's career death by PR. And poor Cleveland? They're unraveling at the seams. Reports are already leaking of heated clashes between the coaching staff and front office. Stefanski is allegedly boiling over external distractions. Some executives wanted Shedeur unleashed weeks ago, others desperate to keep him wrapped in bubble wrap. And right in the middle of this tug-of-war sits a 21-year-old quarterback who's calmer than anyone in the building. You know what that screams? He's ready. Ready to go now. And Jerry can smell it. He knows exactly what that energy is. The get me to a team that knows what to do with me energy. The I was built for this, not buried under it. This deal would shift the tectonic plates of NFL strategy forever. Thank you guys, see you in the next video.